Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some more NBA news, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So for those of you who don't know, Russell Westbrook has just recently been traded to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul and a couple of pick exchanges, and looking at Houston's roster now, you can clearly tell that they have a very good team, but you can tell they're not as good as both of the LA teams, and they most likely won't be able to contend. There's been a rumor now since before the offseason even started, way before it, and even at the trade deadline last year, pretty much this year, in the 2018 to 19 regular season, there was a massive rumor that the Houston Rockets were going to be trading for Kevin Love, and obviously it fell through. Now, getting Kevin Love to the Houston Rockets would be a massive get, and would potentially mean they are the best team in the Western Conference getting Kevin Love. Now, Kevin Love had a really bad 2018-19 season, as most of you know, as there was a rumor that he was injured and that he didn't want to have surgery, and he thought he could play the season out with the injury he had. And then in the first 4 games, obviously he played pretty bad, and then his injury was, obviously a really bad thing, and he decided to have surgery on it and pretty much missed the whole of the year. And then at the end of the year, he managed to play the last 18 games, and pretty much only 12 of them were full games, with him sort of starting to get, a little bit tired at the end of the season after having, not been playing basketball for that long and not really having the best preseason, etc. And then pretty much he's only had at least, 12 games of 2018 and 19 to really, play, and all up he played 22 on 27 minutes per game, averaging 17 points and 11 rebounds. Now, those are his numbers pretty much injured. Imagine what he can do now that he's healthy, with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. This is the prospect of Kevin Love, who was, an all-star last year, who's just had one injured season, going to the Houston Rockets and being a really good player. I think this is an absolutely awesome trade for the Houston Rockets, but the problem is, I don't know if Cleveland are going to do it. As a Cleveland fan, we know that, even though a lot of people see Kevin Love as having a bad contract, when he actually played the last 10 or so games fully healthy, we actually won at least 5 of those games, and we're looking really good. And that was when he was, at least, I'd say he was getting to fully healthy, but still had a couple of concerns here and there. Now that he's, fully healthy, he's had that really good preseason, he has no injuries to worry about now. I think he can be a really good asset with Houston. But as I said, it's going to be really difficult to trade for him because of obviously his really large contract and the fact that Cleveland want to rebuild and get a couple of more picks in, etc. Houston don't really have that much to offer. I mean, because they're going to have to get, balance the cap, they're most likely going to have to trade Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, and potentially those 2 firsts that they just got given from OKC, which are pick swaps in, a bit of the future, which they might not even be that good of picks. So it's going to be a really risky play. But if I had to, decide on what the trade is going to be, I think Cleveland are going to play a really big, hard bargain here. And it's probably going to be, as I said, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, those 2 OKC picks, which aren't probably going to be, the greatest. They might be like pick 18s or something like that. And maybe 2 future second-round picks for at least Kevin Love, and maybe a contract like John Henson is what I potentially think Cleveland are going to want to be doing here, because they could go, for example, Miami, who are trying to build around Jimmy Butler now and who really wanted Russ, who are, just missed out on Russell Westbrook. Miami could come out of nowhere and offer Cleveland, their first round next year, another one in the future, and Tyler Hero for Kevin Love. And that is a really good trade, because that could potentially be, like pick 15, another pick 15 player, Tyler Hero, and then in the future could be, another pick around pick 15 as well for Kevin Love, which I think Cavs would definitely want to do, rather than getting PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon, who are old, 2 first-rounders that might be like 18 and, 20 or something like that, depends how OKC do in the future, and then obviously 2 second-rounders. So I think the Miami one would definitely be way more appealing to Cleveland, and then there's obviously Boston could potentially come out of nowhere and offer the Cavs, Gordon Hayward, who's a bad contract, and then Romeo Langford, and maybe another one of those other first-round picked players, and potentially one in the future for Kevin Love. Who really knows? But Cavs are going to be driving a really hard bargain to trade Kevin Love. So teams are most likely going to have to overpay, because Cavs right now have their future set, and Kevin Love is pretty much a part of that, being the leader that's going to help all these younger players and just giving them the experience of, playing with an all-star and really what it's like to be, you know, on an NBA team with players such as Kevin Love, who have been to championships, they know what they're doing, etc. There's also another team that is also really interested in Kevin Love, and that is the Portland Trailblazers. Now, Portland, similar to Houston, what are they going to trade up to get Kevin Love? Both teams, I'd say, are, you know, behind the LA teams. They really need to work something out to try and trade for Kevin Love. But what are Portland going to do? I mean, they're definitely going to give up. They're going to have to give up a couple of first rounders here and there. I don't know what players they would potentially give up now that they gave away, you know, Myers Leonard to the Miami Heat. So I think it's going to be a real interesting one, but they're definitely going to have to give up a couple of their picks because that's just what's going to have to happen. I mean, Cavs are going to be driving that really hard bargain, and if teams really want, you know, Kevin Love, they're going to have to give up some really good players. The players that I think potentially you know, Portland could give up, they could potentially be giving up Kent Bazemore, Nazir Little, 2 first-round picks, and that could be, you know, potentially it. They might have to give up another first round or something like that, but I really doubt it because Nazir Little has a lot of potential, and Cavs definitely know that. So, yeah, as I said, Nazir Little, Kent Bazemore, and those two first-round picks, and maybe 2 second-round picks for, like, Kevin Love and John Henson sounds like a pretty good deal. And, yeah, that does, you know, I think Cavs probably win that one, but the reason, you know, I'm saying this is because Portland are definitely going to have to overpay if they want to beat out, you know, Cavs is wanting to keep him. They're going to have to try and beat out Houston. They're going to try and have to beat out teams like Miami, who are potentially looking for that another player. So it's definitely going to be a really interesting one, but I think Kent Bazemore will have to be thrown in just because of his cap situation. And as I said, Nazir Little is a really good young talent who the Cavs are definitely going to be wanting to look at. As I said, Cleveland are going to be driving a really hard bargain to get Kevin Love, and Rockets are definitely probably going to have to overpay, and there's any other teams that want him, such as Miami, they're probably going to have to overpay a tiny bit as well. But as I said, I think that's a good trade for the Rockets and the Cavs, as the Cavs do get PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon, both in, who are going to be, you know, a couple older players that can really help out. Whether Houston looked to trying to trade for Tristan Thompson as well, because there was a rumor that Double T was on Houston and Dallas's radar earlier in free agency as well. That could be a thing as well, but I think the Cavs are just probably going to worry about giving PJ Tucker minutes. I mean, if they trade for PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon, I would think they would move on PJ Tucker, and I think they'd try and keep Eric Gordon at the team. I don't really know, though. Potentially they could move on from both of them. That's why I don't know, you know, if the trade's going to really work out, because I don't think Cavs really want that. And as I say, because Houston most likely know that Cavs don't really want Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker, and those firsts they're probably going to be decent. I mean, they're going to be, you know, at least, I'd say, mid-range first-round picks. They're probably going to have to overpay because I don't think Cavs really want Eric Gordon or PJ Tucker. So that's just what I personally think. I definitely would really like to know, what do you guys think about this whole Kevin Love situation? Do you think Houston should trade for Kevin Love? I definitely think they should. He is, you know, if they want to win that championship and be better than the 2 LA teams, they need another all-star or another really good player like Kevin Love, and that's just what I think they need to really try and get him. And whether that's giving up, you know, good role players like PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon and those first-round picks, they definitely got to do it. And yeah, I just don't know what Cleveland are going to do from their perspective. That's why I really want to know your thoughts and opinions down below. So don't forget to comment. Do you guys think Cavs should take on PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon, or do you think they should take them on and then flip him to another team or something like that? I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions down below. So yeah, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest sports content. Don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channel. Link in the description down below. I've actually got a new NBA 2K20 wishlist on my gaming channel, so definitely go check that out. The link is in the description down below. And as I said, comment in the comment section down below. What do you guys think Houston are going to trade for? What do you think they're going to have to trade for Kevin Love? I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions. So yeah, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.